The first order of business is to call for any late additions, and I have one, which is that we will also approve the town meeting warning, and sign it tonight. We'll review and approve. Any other late additions? Seeing none. The next order of business is to approve minutes. So I'm going to make a series of motions. The first of which is to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of January 12th.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Seeing no discussion, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
The next order of business is to approve the minutes of the special meeting of the board held on January 7th.
Second.
Thank you.
I do have something to change on there. It actually does say the meeting opened at 5:55 and closed at 5. I should say at 6.
Oh, at 6. Okay. So I will revise it. I'll say, I'll make a resolution that we approve the minutes of the special meeting of January 7th with the correction of the closing time to 6 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, terrific. Seeing no discussion, all those in favor, please say aye. I will make a motion, next motion to approve the minutes of the January 7th budget meeting.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. And finally, I will make a motion to approve the minutes of the January 28th.
That's too soon.
That's today. So it was last, sorry. Let me look at the calendar.
It's today.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking, oh, it was
The
last
21st.
Wednesday, the 21st, January 21st, budget meeting.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion of those? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Thank you, everybody, for your patience between my work and the number of meetings we've had. Clearly, I was challenged. Okay, so we have some members of the public here, for whatever reason. And the next order of business is one we had hoped to have some attendance. We are discussing the migration from our current pay-as-you-throw system of the sale of bags, which most recently were compostable bags, for revenue collection to support transfer station expenses, to a reusable token system. And that would significantly reduce the cost and increase the revenue per throw. So Kate, can I hand it over to you to summarize the transfer, the change that we're proposing?
So what we're proposing at this point is that we purchase, okay, first of all, the bags that we purchased, the yellow and the green bags, cost us $25,000. And yes, we do get some of that back because we charge people, but the tokens that we're thinking about is to use 3 different tokens. One would be pink, and they are made from bubble gum. And they would be for one size. And the another set of tokens would be green. They're made from fishing net. So they're both completely, recycled materials. And they would be another size, and then another token of some other color, maybe yellow, something that's very different. And they would say on them, Town of Jamaica, and they would say small, medium, large, something like that. That way we wouldn't have to keep changing prices if we ever had to recharge and charge higher amounts later. And these would be costing us approximately $845 instead of $25,000. And they're reusable, so we would only theoretically have to purchase them once. So we would use them for, instead of using 13-gallon bags, 30-gallon bags, and 55-gallon bags, no bags. I mean, people would probably use bags in most cases, though you don't have to. You can actually dump it in loose. You can put it in a cardboard box. You can put it in your own compostable bag or paper bag, and then give Ernie or whoever the attendant is the proper size token for the proper amount of trash we've gotten rid of. So that's the way we're thinking. Ernie is happy with that. He likes that very much. He knows that he would have to be on top of watching people and, and taking their tokens, which he already has to do for construction debris, which brings me to that. He believes that we have plenty of tokens left for construction debris. Again, since we reuse them, we can just continue to use the ones we already have for that. So that wouldn't change.
And I was on the record say that Sarah and I are also pleased with this 3-tiered system versus money. We were very much against like having money for the $2 for whatever. We're very happy with it as well.
Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Yes,
The
please.
small, medium, and large, how many gallons? 13?
They'd be approximately, yes, the
13,
13, 30, and 55,
25.
whatever they,
Right.
yeah, sort of small.
Consistent with the size.
Consistent with
Right,
these
right.
two, plus a larger size.
Gotcha,
Yeah.
okay.
Construction, or contractor bags 54.
Gotcha. Okay.
So what will be your costs on the small, medium, and large, and how many tokens do you get?
Well, that's a good, I should say, I have been saying to people, I'm small and I usually underestimate things like food, so it's likely that I would underestimate unless somebody says, we haven't discussed how many we could get.
Just an idea, I mean.
So the $845 was for 6,000 tokens. We would probably get more than that. So say $1,000 for 10,000.
A one-time
Is your
cost.
question how much they would cost? It's the same cost.
Oh, what
It's
we
the
would
same
we're
cost.
gonna charge the
No.
same for the two that we do for the two sizes that we have now, and we have to calculate, we have to
I
extrapolate
said $5 maybe for
for the larger.
We don't know
We
yet.
would, we looked at it, we would extrapolate what, roughly on a per gallon, cost that we're charging today. We would then use that per gallon cost to come up with the amount for the largest, for the largest size token. The token doesn't get bigger, just the bag. Right. It's not gonna be a big token this big.
Blue or yellow.
Right, like a pizza-sized token, that would be pretty funny. No, they're all about this, aren't they? They're
About
about
an
this.
inch and a half.
Inch and a half,
But
they're, yeah. Other,
That's what we have.
Poker chip.
Yeah.
right. So we already have exactly a token system that we use today for construction waste, and I think that's partly why Ernie's not too concerned, because he'll be using the same kind of judgment that he does now.
Yeah, he's accustomed to that. Yeah, and the tokens, the ones that aren't from bubblegum or fishing net are all from recycled materials as well.
Still
And they are
post-consumer.
washable. They are washable with warm, silky water. So
Right.
that's good.
Which was definitely something that
Yeah, that's,
town staff wanted.
yeah. And they're also, the ones that we have for C&D are, I think they're basically wood.
Wood.
Yeah, so they're not as easy to clean, I guess.
Right, and more on like on the plastic side, so they can be cleaned, as you said.
Yes,
Who knows?
Me.
I'm one.
Yeah, me.
You.
Yes, and I asked the company.
We have, go ahead.
Yeah, I asked the company if they have any kind of
Washing.
cleaning fluid that they don't. They just said you can wash them with warm
Yeah,
soap.
we use tokens now for the construction debris. So we get tokens, Ernie gets tokens, he brings them in and we put them back in the drawer. So they don't get dirty per se. I guess we could wash them if they needed to be washed.
But you should always wash your
I would
hands
think
after you
that
go to
these
the
tokens are
bathroom.
gonna sure cycle through more, so maybe we might wanna clean them periodically, but we'll just get it, we'll go to the sink and wash them in the sink and dry them out,
Yeah.
I don't see that being an issue.
Yeah, exactly. But it would represent a significant increase in revenue to the town, because there's
Decrease cost.
decrease in costs,
Right.
so net revenue.
Right.
Net revenue, because there's a much higher cost to each bag. And this would be a one-time, very small cost. Now, it is different, because it would be applying, you're not coming in with a bag, right? And you're not trying to fit as much as you can in that bag. And there's a certain amount of judgment that goes on. Jamaica would not be the only one. Londonderry does something similar. They have a punch card where the transfer station attendant judges roughly right?
Yes, but he goes by weight as well, and so he really, he knows that kitty litter weighs a lot more than pillows, for instance. But he's experienced, and but we didn't want to get into that.
To weighing,
And there
yeah.
are
We don't
places
get a
that have
scale.
scales.
We don't have a scale.
They're
We
very
don't, we'd have
expensive.
to
Very
invest in a scale.
Yeah, we could get a scale.
So this is really a volume issue, not a weight issue. which is essentially what we
What
do
we have
today.
now, yeah.
Yeah. Any questions?
Do you have a guesstimation on when this is gonna start?
Well, oh,
Wait,
that's
you
one
see the
question
boxes
we
over
have.
there?
This is
That's
all
what
we
we
have
got
left.
So when those are gone, we will be doing, I
Right,
would say,
right.
start at the town meeting, we need to get
So we
started.
need to get this, I was looking at that.
Yes.
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 Yes, they,
Yeah.
the company that I've been dealing with, has a turnaround of a week, and they can deliver them and, you know, put the name, you know, whatever we want writing, on them and send them in a week. And includes delivery, they sound great. Yeah, and so
Right.
that will be as soon as we can get going. But-
Karen?
Oh, go ahead. I can say that these bags here, if you all remember, they're going to be depleted. I had Rossville come and get 20 today, Forrest comes over weekly, gets 35, and they're gone and come pretty much every week. And a box of those contains 40, I think, 20, 25, 30?
One box?
We're just going-
20.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we're,
30,
yeah.
no, because I.
30? Is it 30?
That's just yellow, I think.
And
I
that's
think
just the
we have
yellow. We have a lot
of-
of greens
have a
left,
lot
but
of
then
green.
people use the greens.
So my thought was maybe we can have a sort of grace period where people can use either.
Yeah.
And, you know, I would love to say, depending on how many bags of the green that we have, people have to use them because we've spent a lot of money on them.
Right.
But,
Right,
we
like
haven't-
hold back, if the pink is the small one, hold back the pinks.
Yeah, we haven't gotten there yet. Yeah, that's
Right.
maybe a good idea.
Right.
But, so, or maybe grace period where either one is.
Right. Right. Anything else?
I'm totally in favor of this, this is great.
Oh, okay.
But I do, somebody mentioned to me last night that, you know, lots of times they'll go in up to the transfer station and Ernie's off working and doing things and he'll recognize them and wave and, you know, they'll put their bags in. And that's fine, but it's a little more,
Not now, right, not with this system.
Yeah.
right, he's going to have to come over and he'll have to be there more often.
I
So
talked to him
Yeah.
about
he
that.
won't be able to be getting quite as much stuff.
Right.
The other stuff that he
Yeah,
has
right.
getting done.
Right.
I think we probably can figure out some sort of system, you know.
I just wanted you to be
Yes,
aware of
he is.
that.
Yeah, no, good
That
point.
it is
Yeah.
going
No,
it
to
is.
take away from his time quite a bit.
It's going to slow down the process too.
A little bit.
The other transfer stations that Kate has talked to, and I've also spoken to the guy in Londonderry, he doesn't feel it impacts, you know, the operations in terms of how quickly you get in or out.
Yeah, and they punch, they have to punch.
Right.
He doesn't have to punch anything.
Right.
With the tokens, so.
Right.
Yeah.
But Karen, your point, well taken. I mean, you know,
And I did look into the punch cards, and there are plenty of issues with that. In Londonderry, for instance, they had they had something like 5 different markets and places, the hardware store that was selling the punch cards, but people still complained that they didn't have access when or whatever they needed. So they spent $8,000 on a machine, what do you call it?
Vending
A vending machine.
okay, yeah,
Which we don't want to do.
right,
You know, plus, you know, it uses up paper and it's,
Right.
I think it's more time, I can't think of the word. Anyway, it takes more time to just, be punching and whatever.
right.
Great.
So will these tokens be here as well as the workforce,
Same locations.
just as they are now?
Yes,
the bags?
yes,
And Rossville Marketplace.
and Rawsonville.
Yeah, though we do have to make a point that people who sell at Rawsonville Market have to know
Right.
that they need to say you need to be a
Right.
Jamaica resident to,
Right.
you can't be from another town,
Right.
which.
They may have to show their dump card. They may to buy.
Yeah, we haven't.
Yeah, yeah, we haven't. Yeah,
Yeah, because Ernie has been in touch with them in the past, and so employees who were working there before were on top of it, but, you know, there's turnover, and so apparently some people come from other towns with Jamaica bags. And
Yes.
so-
I think it's important to acknowledge too that tokens will not be available at the transfer station. Similar to bags and
Same,
available at the
right,
transfer station.
right,
So you
right.
can't go up and say, well, I got a bag here, but I didn't get a token. Can't you just sell me a token here? That's not how it's gonna work. They're gonna have to go down to the store and get tokens.
right,
Ernie's not dealing with cash.
right, right. Any other?
So it means we have to go back to the store to buy them.
Yes.
Like we buy
correct.
that.
If you don't have them,
Right.
you have to-
Or here.
you have to get them before. No different than the bags. You have to go back. Plan ahead.
Yeah, but on the other hand, you can use whatever bag you want.
Right.
Or box or whatever.
Or box. Yeah. All right, no, seeing no other, I think.
Motion?
All right, I'll make a motion that we approve, the migration from our current, compostable bag, pay-as-you-throw system of revenue collection to a token system as described.
Second.
Do you want to put a time frame into the motion?
And I don't want to because it's now, we're gonna implement it starting now, basically, yeah. I mean, Kate has to nail down.
Depending on the.
Right.
the
We'll make an announcement, we'll give some socialization, all of that. I think
The
this
town
is
meeting,
more,
the goal was to have this done before
town meeting, so we can-
So they can present the town
right,
meeting. So
right.
this
You
is
can
what we're doing
have
now, right?
flyers and tokens
So
and,
you're not gonna bring it up as a, an item for town meeting, you bring it up as a fait accompli.
yes,
So here's the way we're doing it.
Here's what we're doing.
yeah,
Yeah. this is
Yeah.
what we're doing.
yeah.
This is what we're-
And the other part is when it's the education part, when someone shows up at this market, say, well, this is what it is, and I need a bag, well, here you got a token. And it's
Right.
really no change in that process,
Right.
from the market standpoint.
Right, but we could put some information on the
Yeah.
website and maybe a flyer, all that stuff, and on Facebook. Give something to Karen to post, because she doesn't have enough to post.
It is constant.
It is constant, believe me, it's like one of my favorite. What did Karen post today? All right, any further, did I get a
Yes,
second?
motion's on the table.
Second.
I did, okay. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And I just wanna wrap up by saying thank you, Kate. You did a lot of research on this and, really, really appreciate it. So thank you so much, and hopefully it'll, looks like it's gonna really be a benefit. Okay, so the next order of business is Green Mountain Power was gonna
They're not
attend.
here.
They're not here.
But I have something to talk about with that.
Okay, so what we're
I got this
gonna,
briefly.
yeah,
So I have been working on a project with Green Mountain Power as they need to put a pole in down on Depot Street, and they have marked some land that they thought was town property, but is actually owned by Clara and Harry Robinson.
okay,
The town, we looked at the survey, and the town does not own the egress from that building on that side. The town line goes right at the edge of the building. So
right.
the stairway and the exit are
Right.
actually on the Robinson's land, and they have an easement. So
Does
I contact-
GMP have an
I-
easement on the Robinson property?
No,
Oh,
so they need
Okay.
to work with the Robinsons. I told them that. I sent them an
Okay.
email. I said, it is not town property. I met with the guy. We actually walked out there to the property.
right,
We looked at it, and he said we couldn't move it back towards the building because they need the support, and the supports would bump into the building then, and I said, well, we
can't give you
it's not our
permission.
land, so we
Right.
can't okay that, so
Right.
but that's something that, I know that's a project that they have worked on. I'm just letting people know that the town has told them that that's not town land,
Okay.
so I don't know.
Did they say they would, because they have a process to
I
reach out
have
to
not talked with
landowners.
them again, I sent them back and
Okay.
said this is a no-go, from our standpoint, and they have not gotten back with me.
Okay,
I don't know
all
the
right.
situation.
Well, the
So
point
just-
of this, maybe it was because the meeting moved from Monday to Wednesday, but yeah. All right, I'm gonna, defer, thank you for that update, Tom, and I'm gonna, put this off until the next meeting and we'll reach back out to the folks at GMP. Because they wanted to walk us through the remaining projects. All right, the next order of business is the review and approval of the planning grant that I think, Greg, are you walking us through this?
I don't have anything, I don't know anything about that. On the next item,
You're the next item. I thought we had to approve the planning grant and sign it. No, not
What was
today.
that? Is that what I printed? What was that?
Yeah.
this is
No.
for the finance and maintenance agreement for the depot.
For the
Oh,
Depot Street
I
Bridge.
didn't see the other day, you're right. Sorry.
Yeah. All right.
I thought it was the planning commission, when I saw it on the agenda, I don't know what it
Okay. All right.
Table
All right.
one, too.
Take that off.
Off the Depot Street Bridge.
The next one. No, that's what we're doing now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. No.
Uh-huh.
is. And can't
Someone
think of-
emailed me
can't
to,
even think of what
to
it
review
is.
and approve the planning grant. Yeah, all right, and so, okay. This might be another victim of the change from Monday to Wednesday, actually, come to think of it, so that's probably going to the next meeting as well. Item number 6 is to review and sign the finance and maintenance agreement for the Depot Street Bridge, that's the bridge which goes to the state park, so that's the next phase. It is budgeted. I've reviewed it, it's a standard form document, and they previewed it with us, the next step of phase of work. Did you wanna add to
I
that?
think I'll just elaborate a little bit. So this is, like Jessica said, this is just signing off on a boilerplate kind of cookie cutter state form here because the state is partially funding this, federal funds are partially involved. So it's our agreement to accept this funding and in exchange agree to maintain the bridge. So it's a $9.6 million project, the bridge across the West River. Our town share is on a portion of the design and right-of-way work and things of that nature, $118,000 roughly. A portion's been budgeted this year. We've budgeted the next portion into next year. And then 100% of the remainder is going to be federal and state funding. So we basically have to agree that we're going to maintain it to get that money.
Right.
The next step, this is going to be tonight, but just to add on, the next step is going to be roughly, this will give them agreement to go ahead and do get into more of the detailed planning and design, and then they will come back and present that to us. We'll have an opportunity again to make some detailed additions to that of, what it's gonna look like, what the concrete work looks like, what the rails look like, the color,
Right.
those types of things.
There's some aesthetic decisions that will be
aesthetics
coming up, and
decisions.
we'll warn those, so anybody who wants to join the meeting and weigh in on, there's for those of you that are familiar, you can press concrete, give concrete a certain texture, you can give it a color, certain portions of the bridge will be painted, so all of those are aesthetic decisions that, and anybody can come and weigh in on and discuss.
Yeah, so I will make a motion to approve the financing and maintenance agreement.
Second.
I
Yeah.
quick question,
Please.
since that's how I go to my house.
Yes, exactly. That's what you should come to the design meeting.
Yeah, right.
It's his house.
Right.
It goes to his house.
And that some time ago, when this all started and we were going to do it much sooner than it's being done, I do remember that it was an agreement that they were going to keep the historic bridge and just redo it all.
Mhm.
So you're talking about making changes aesthetically, so when did
Yeah.
that fall apart? Because I know we all voted for that.
So over 2 years now, there have been a series of changes that have made it.
You missed that one, sorry, there's.
Who's that?
Who's that?
That's Christina?
Oh, okay. And there's been a lot of meetings on this, so to try to put it concisely. We were joined by the Army Corps of Engineers, which you might remember when we had our very first vote, going back 3 years now,
Yep.
and we were looking at a cost variable of replacing the whole bridge versus just updating the bridge that we have. That was without any assistance or input from the Army Corps of Engineers because they declined to participate. After the 2023 flood, sort of the whole project got deferred for a period of time, and thereafter the Army Corps came in full force.
I've actually seen them down there.
Yes,
That's
exactly,
awesome.
exactly. So that did a couple of things. It changed the requirements of the bridge. It increased the money available to us. And correct me if I'm saying anything wrong, Greg, please. Also, there have been updates in what our share as a town would be in terms of maintenance, right? So maintenance costs, what commitment we would be making today for the town, essentially in perpetuity. And the calculus shifted entirely. So what would have been, well, first of all, just maintaining the existing bridge was not going to meet the building requirements, unfortunately. So what we then found ourselves faced with were a series of elemental design decisions that would either manage the the generational costs of maintaining the bridge, because that remains the responsibility of the town. So you choose materials that tend to require less investment over time, a lower cost over time, but while maintaining some character, right? And so that's really been the decision making that's gone on. But I would say the main thing that happened is the 23 flood happened, and the Army Corps of Engineers came in, and that really shifted the paradigm.
We were evacuated then, yes.
Yes. I was knocking on doors.
Can you give us a timeline again of when things will be happening? When it
Long.
starts?
It keeps slowly being pushed. The state and all states probably are being pressured for keeping up with infrastructure and things like that. So right now we're at, I believe that it's not next summer. It's going to be 2028, and that's just the fall is to put in the temporary bridge.
Right.
And so the new bridge then wouldn't be until 2029. That's and it's still a moving target.
Yeah. Because what I heard before, it's going to be not finished at all until at least 2030, which makes sense when you're talking about the
Right now, that's right.
Yeah.
You'll be driving over it in 2030, and the temporary bridge will have been removed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Motion on the table.
Motion on the table. Okay, so I'm going to call the vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Aye.
Thank you. Thank you for everybody's questions and participation.
Yeah.
All right, the next is pretty quick. In the course of budget meetings, obviously we were talking with the road commissioner, the road crew, and with Keith. And at the very least, we are going to be purchasing a new 1-ton pickup, just a pickup. It's not a major acquisition, but we will be doing that. And there is, and I'll update you at another time. I thought I might have an email, but I don't. There is going to be another acquisition in the coming year. Not necessarily in cycle, but these are things that don't necessarily have a determined cycle. Unlike the military, when you have to replace things at a certain point, we try to keep them a little longer. And I want to say it's a dump truck, but I'm not sure. Not being an expert on that. So I'll have more to say on that. Yes.
Do you know if maybe the dump truck is going to be palatable?
So the current one that's talking about is just a 1-ton pickup to replace the smallest pickup. I mean,
But I think he's asking the larger truck.
Right.
The larger truck.
The larger truck is not 100% locked in yet. It would be a replacement for one of the existing ones, but there's still moving targets again, I guess you want to call it, within the town and within the, what our needs are. Obviously, we need to plow the road, but whether it's a town truck, whether it's a contracted truck, those things are evolving. Keith was a little uncertain about that part of it. So that, I don't think the big truck is part of this. That would come out of the capital fund, out of our equipment fund. And I think what was the thing that we were talking about earlier is that we had put in this last year to do it and hadn't said where the money was coming, so to speak. So now this is to say the money is going to be coming out of the equipment fund, even though it was budgeted.
Right.
And then we've got some other stuff coming out of the highway fund for next year, but that's in next year's budget. That we'll see it.
The one you're talking about now is not going to be an additional blade on the road.
Not additional. No, it's a replacement.
No.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
That's clear. Yeah.
No.
Because we got, don't we do? I'm working on memory, which we all know is a real iffy proposition. We have a regular cycle for the big trucks.
Right. We
Yes.
have 3 trucks. We
Yes.
have 3
And
drivers.
it's
Yes.
cycling through.
Yep, they
Yes.
cover all of our roads. Then the other little one is kind of support, especially during the summer, but it's to plow the
Predicated on
parking.
age,
Yes, but sometimes they, you know,
crash.
right, they don't, they don't necessarily meet the original cycle. So this one was a
This is
little
out of
out of cycle.
I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I guess it has a longer term cycle on it than the bigger trucks
I
have.
believe that I remember correctly.
Those are 3 to
In fact,
4
I don't remember
years.
the cycle on the
6,
short
8.
ones. I remember the cycle on the big ones.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right, so we don't really need to approve it, it's more of I called it discussion and approval, but it's really just more informational. All right, the next order of business is really just a reminder. Actually, okay, so instead of a reminder,
Updates?
an update. You weren't there. No, you weren't there. Okay. Oh, yeah. So one thing I can say about last night's meeting was it was very informative. It was led by Dana and Drew. There were not other folks from the supervisory union, so it was just our representatives on the board. We met for over 2 hours, 2 hours and 15 minutes or so, and had a wide-ranging discussion. I would like anybody else who wants to share their observations from the meeting to please do so. Clearly, one of the themes that was developed by Drew and Dana in the meeting was a change in approach, I would say, by the school board to the potential vote by the town of Jamaica to close the Jamaica Village School. They have gone through several rounds of their own budgeting, which has proven extremely challenging. They are facing strong headwinds, and whereas I would say when previously talking with representatives of the board, they were not feeling strongly about asking the town of Jamaica to call a vote to close the school. They are now settling on a budget that assumes the closure in order for them to mitigate some of the these significant headwinds in terms of costs, and the current use of the school. They are looking to us as a body, a select board body, and us as a town to indicate to the school board whether that we are amenable to a vote to close, and they would prefer to hear from us as a board that in fact we are amenable to them requesting that we call that vote. When we last met formally as a select board to discuss this issue, a very concerning observation was raised, which is that the closure of the Jamaica Village School appeared to, if we were to vote to close it, it would have likely meant the end of the pre-K program for 3-year-olds and potentially cannibalize even more of the pre-K program. At the meeting last night, Drew very eloquently explained that all programs that are not mandatory, statutorily mandated, which includes pre-K of all ages, were on the list of programs that the school board had to consider cutting. However, because of its importance in the budget that they're proposing, which does include closing of Jamaica Village School, they are retaining, was it 25 or 35? They're retaining 24 spots for spots
Yes.
for pre-K, which was what they anticipate. That would be the number that they would budget for pre-K, regardless of whether Jamaica Village School was open or closed.
That's in the whole district among.
The whole district.
At Townsend, they would be
Well-
all at Townsend.
Oh, and they would all be housed at Townsend. But yes, that was what the members of the board shared with us. So, what I agreed with Drew was that I would share, one, that the budget is that they are going to be voting on reflects the fact that Jamaica Village School will be closed. So the cost associated with staffing, which is something like 5 full-time equivalents, plus the operating costs of the building, all of those would be removed from the budget. But that the fact of closure of Jamaica Village School would not impact what they would otherwise budget and accommodate for the pre-K program. So I'd like to open it to anybody else. Like, a bunch of us were there. Robert, anything else you want to share?
I mean, I would just like to share that, my big question is what's going to happen to our kids here in Jamaica. And it was very clear from everybody I spoke to, and I spoke to our select board, our school board again this morning, that there are no guarantees for our kids. That if we close Jamaica Village School, there could be a lottery, there could be refusal. The kids could have no option where to go. There were discussion last night about them being able to go to other programs with the voucher. I reached out to a few of those programs this morning to see if there's vacancies for some
You mean
of
for
our
pre-K? For pre-K. Okay,
Yep.
just want to make sure we're still talking about pre-K.
This is what,
Right.
for pre-K. And
Right.
the feedback I got is that pretty much everybody is full. So we could be
Other than
looking-
Montessori with tuitioning and financial aid.
Right,
That's-
without some sort of significant financial input from the families, if they don't qualify.
Right, if they don't qualify for financial aid. Yeah.
Right, so we could be looking at an impact to the town of Jamaica of, we don't know exactly how many kids could be without preschool when we
Right.
make this decision. Whereas my understanding is if we leave Jamaica open, our kids have a guaranteed spot to go.
Okay.
That's the way it was presented from what I understood from last night, because the number of openings that are available.
What guaranteed spot? Or just somewhere or other? Or-
Because we currently have 12 spots available in Jamaica, whereas, and they have a total of 24 in Townsend, that would leave us with our still Jamaica students. The Jamaica would have the right to be able to send our kids here.
Right, I mean, yeah.
I think that my conversations with both Bob Tebow and with Drew a couple of weeks ago, they said the exact same thing. That if we close the school, we do not necessarily have any control. They can project numbers, we have no idea. If the school is open, that would potentially have 36 spots.
Potentially,
Because they did increase it all in towns, and so we
Right.
we have a better shot of not losing those seats
Right.
if we keep the school open. If we close the school, roll the dice.
And do we have any sense of whether Townsend would like not to have to house those pre-K since they have so many students in the upper level? Do we?
We do not, they did not talk about that.
No.
Opinion on that.
I will add, for everybody out there in the internet world, the amount of information that is now available on the West River Unified Modified Education District website and the Supervisory Union website is very detailed. All of the iterations of the budget for West River are there, including the current one. So you can see what they have, the change in the budgeting with respect to what the impact of Jamaica Village School has on it, including on your tax rate, which as a percentage matter, the tax rate right now looks like the increase is more significant than anybody wants. And rather than quote something that I don't have in front of me, I would rather just direct folks to look at the analysis that's on the West River Unified Modified Education District. I'll just call it the West River. district. I do want to say publicly a thank you to Drew and Dana, who did do a very thorough presentation, particularly of the evolution of the budget and just the budgeting process and the headwinds that the West River Education District budget faces, largely because of an obligation to carry a portion of 4 separate supervisory unions. So all of that's clear. I thought the format that they utilized for the budget presentation was pretty clear. You could see where the big slugs of cash have to come in, come from our tax collection. There's still some big unknowns. Governor Scott will make a decision at some point in the spring after town meeting, most likely, as he has in the past, whether the state will kick in funds to mitigate the expense and therefore bring down our tax rate that will be imposed for purposes of collecting the education fund. So there's some big unknowns that we won't know until after meeting, until after even the budget, the school budget vote. But more information will be coming between now and then. But we may or may not be asked at the next school board meeting as a town to call a vote. I'm one vote on this board, and I don't even. I'd like to hear from the other board members whether we feel like we're even in a position to convey to the school board how we feel about asking the town to vote.
It has nothing to do with budget, but yeah, I've been living here since 98, and I've been paying taxes forever. I've never had any kids going to school. Nor do I have any children or grandchildren or whatever. However, what I do notice, this is a community, and if we keep taking these things out of our community, what are we going to be left with? That's one thought I have. And the other thought I have, which I know there are a lot of new, younger people have moved into the town, and more are, and they're having babies and what have you. And I do know that we're 2 extra kids this week that joined the pre-K. And that much I know. And there's a part of me, it's almost like taking anything out of the town like that. Like if we got rid of the school, the library, God forbid, and all of that, what do we have? Because we are a community. And like I say, I wasn't born here, but I've been here since 98, and my wife Alice did tons of work in this whole community and whatever. So, that's the feeling I have. I mind paying taxes if they're going to take these things away.
So I think it's important to also convey, and Drew was very honest about it, that the likelihood that the building would be used by the school district as a school ever again for grades, K through 5 is essentially none. There's no chance. So the vote would be essentially, do we support the school board reducing their budget, so they're not carrying the burden of keeping the school open to a very small percentage of its operational capacity, or do we as a town undertake the effort to take the building back and figuring out the best use of that building for the town?
I want to know exactly what we were doing with the building to help the community if it was taken back, as a taxpayer.
Right. Well, there's a timing issue there, right? So if we're asked today by the board to vote, we're not gonna have that answer yet. It's gonna take. We're gonna need to seek grant money to do a highest and best use.
That's understandable.
you know, we could certainly, at an information session, pose all the kinds of opportunities that we have and the challenges that we would face and the cost to carry the building in the interim while we figure that out. But that's the other side of that coin.
Yeah.
And Drew did, he was honest with us that if ultimately, you know, the building were owned by the school district and not utilized as a school, it would be sold.
Yeah.
Not by us, but by the school district.
Well, definitely, if they're closing it, you'd want to keep it anyway.
Right, that's right.
That's.
Right. If we vote to keep it,
That's.
the last time we had that vote, it was a no vote to close the school, but it was a yes vote to take it back for $1 if it were closed. So I think most, you know, there was the you know, significant majority of people said, oh, we should take it. We should take it if it's gonna be closed, basically.
I'm wondering what is the negative to our keeping the school? It seems like there's no reason not to keep.
Oh, to buy back for $1. Yeah.
Why wouldn't we?
Operating costs per year.
Cost,
Cost to keep it
cost.
on running if it's not being used.
Right.
But it's
That's
worth
it.
a lot more than $1.
Right,
So
yes,
it's
yes,
worth
yes,
it.
yes.
So
The town could sell it.
Or whatever.
I mean,
Sell it.
right, the town can sell it,
Yeah.
yeah. But then at least the revenue would be kept by the town.
Right.
Yeah.
I question the board's numbers for pre-K in the future. It looked like it was about half of what we have now. They came to town clerks and looked at how many children had been born in town, but there's many more kids than that in town. So I question that. I also question the numbers that they gave us for maintaining the school. And Robert, could you elaborate on that, please?
Yeah, so I did a little digging into the idea that initially they gave us an estimate of about $30,000 to maintain the building if we took ownership. So I met with Greg Frost from the superintendent's office, and we spoke about the fact that that number assumes that there's not going to be any plowing, there will be no mowing, that there will be no cleaning of the building. Those things were left out of the budget that they gave us for $30,000.
Right, because we said it would be done by the road crew. So
Right.
the exterior maintenance was gonna not cost the town per se more, because we were taking that on just as part of our general maintenance for the town, yeah.
Right, so,
It still costs the town,
Yeah, I mean,
especially mowing.
and so that was my question. I know the number that you used last night was $82,500 to keep the building just open.
Annually?
no, but, and also run the programs that they run.
No, that was just because it did include staff and anything like that.
No, but, right, but to have the building open
Yeah.
fully, which is what they do now, they don't zone it, essentially. We were all at that meeting, so it was, at least when we met with Greg, he kind of extrapolated the cost if you were like just basically making sure it doesn't fall down and maybe using one portion of the, you can zone it, there's 3 zones, so if you kept one zone on, especially, yeah.
So I'm just going based on the numbers that he
Right.
presented and what was presented last night.
Right.
So it's much higher than the 30,000 because somewhere we have to figure out how to plow. Someone has to plow. And we're taking our town crew from somewhere else to be able to do it. Just like if they're mowing, they're not, plowing somewhere else or doing something else. So those are just expenses that weren't presented within the initial 30,000 that I think we just need to be aware of. The other thing is I think we've got some time here because the school board made it very clear they are not asking us to put this to vote. They are not asking us to put it to the town. They're not requiring it to.
They're waiting for us to
They're
ask
waiting
them
for-
to
right.
ask us.
Right, so,
Right.
yeah, right. They're not-
Drew said the board would prefer that we indicate an interest. At least I heard him say.
That's not what I heard him say. I heard he said, we are not acting. We've decided
Oh,
not
not
to
to
act
act.
until Jamaica, either voters or until the board makes a request to the school board. That's what I heard.
Okay.
And I reached out to the school board this morning and asked that same question. They made it very clear that they are not asking us to
Right.
make this.
Okay.
They're leaving it up to us to discuss it, but they're not requiring this vote.
Okay.
make this,
Yes.
this kind of dovetailing what you said.
Mhm.
For the people in Jamaica who are trying to follow this, if your mind is boggled, then you understand the situation. It
Right.
is so incredible that Drew and Dana, the energy that they have put in presenting this to us last night, and doing the work to understand all of this stuff. It's just incredibly complicated. And there doesn't appear to be any real easy answer on the horizon to anybody. None of us have a good idea. I'm just saying this, that we need to understand how difficult it is, and that the guys who've been working on it, Dana and Drew specifically, have done a humongous amount of work for us. And we're still walking around saying, now what? So just so the people who weren't at that meeting, yeah, if you understand the situation and you have a good idea, bring it to us.
There's no
But-
clear option, that's for sure.
We don't have control, the state controls most of the
Exactly.
factors, so we do not have to control this.
We can only go so far, and Drew and Dana made it very clear, we can only go so far, and we're gonna butt our heads up against the state's version of how things ought to go, and they don't know what they're doing. And they admit they don't know what they're doing. In fact, as you recall, last year, the committee that the governor put together threw up their hands. And say, and now, you know, the governor's not thrilled about that, but now we're coming up with other plans, and there are no good ones on the horizon. But again, for those of you who are thinking about this and have any ideas at all, bring them to us, but we really owe Drew and Dana a massive thank you for this absolutely incredible work they've been doing. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as Jessica said, and dovetail with Paul saying, I mean, it is on their website. All these scenarios, a lot of scenarios, there's a lot of numbers. I mean, granted, numbers are boring maybe to a lot of people, but it really shows what they or we have control over and what the state, as part of the funding for the school districts, have control over, that we can't do anything. I mean, we're really not between a rock and a hard place. And buying, selling, closing, doing something different with the school is only a small portion of it.
I guess I would ask whoever's watching the meeting, watching the minutes, and anybody here, just please send emails to us what your thoughts are. Please take a moment when you can to review the information on the West River Unified Modified Education District website or the Supervisory Union website. You'll see the budgets there and the minutes from the prior meetings, and just, you know, share your thoughts. Okay. So with that, I will move to the next order of regular business, which is to review and approve the timesheets for the staff of the town office.
Do you want to do the town report?
Oh, sorry.
The town
I even have a little arrow there for myself, and I still forgot it. I will make a motion to approve the warning for the town meeting as circulated by Tom. Thank you.
A second.
And just to say, this year there is no controversial articles on it. It is
Yeah.
boilerplate 100%. So it is not. We're not talking about
No
anything-
exception articles.
No
Yeah.
exceptional articles.
Only what's required
It's
by
all just
statute.
required of electing the town officers and such, and looking at the budget. And so there's nothing like we're trying to sneak something and there's nothing.
Right, no, nothing.
Pretty boring.
Nothing.
Thank
No, regular warning.
Yeah.
To be Tuesday, March.
March 3rd is the meeting, yes, and the town report is nearly done. We'll have that, the printers on Monday, so.
All right. And seeing, did I get a second?
Yes.
Oh, okay, sorry, thank you.
Yeah.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Thank you. So now, the next order of business, to review and approve the timesheets for the staff of the town office, the listers, the highway crew, and the transfer station.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And we'll ask the same for the pay orders, for all of us who have reviewed, and now to approve the pay orders.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. So under public concerns, I'm going to ask Karen to please share a few thoughts about the passing of longtime dedicated select board member, Judy Flowers, whose spot,
Sorry.
Oh,
No, that's-
Flower, Judy Flower.
Sorry,
Right,
Judy
right.
Flower.
Right. I think of the flowers.
Yes,
You
I
know,
know.
right, sorry. Whose spot, was open, it was her spot when she stepped down and resigned from the board that I took, so, I took one of her roles, which was procurement, and there was a lot of, her fingers were, clear, it was clear she had done a lot of work in the procurement area. But Karen has gracefully
Well,
volunteered to just say a few things.
Judy was wonderful, and she and Ed moved to town in 1983, and they had 2 sons, wonderful family, 4 grandchildren, and they came ready to join in the town and help as they best could. Ed was involved in many things. He was taking minutes at the select board meetings for quite a few years. Judy was 12 years on the select board, was in charge of the town hall and getting a well put in and things like that. She was the gal in charge of the transfer station. And did a great job.
She did.
She's just an elegant, wonderful woman. Very musically inclined. The family also, her grandson was playing at the funeral and funeral service, and it was just beautiful and singing, so.
Yeah.
Very wonderful. So we certainly will miss her, and Ed is down in Brattleboro in a home and doing pretty well.
That's good to hear. Thank you. Yes, so I would like to just thank her for all of her years of service
sure.
on the select board. All right, so any other, yes, Tom, please.
I would like to put out to the town, we are, I am the town clerk, obviously, and at town meeting, the town clerk generally takes the minutes of the town meeting. I'm also the town moderator. So we are looking for someone who would be willing to volunteer and potentially be paid to take minutes at the town meeting. I have someone who has tentatively agreed, but we're looking for other people. And again, if someone's looking to make some extra money, you'd be paid for your services. Just contact me at the town office, and we can work it out. Again, the date is March 3rd, it's Tuesday, and the meeting starts at 10, and it goes usually till about 1 o'clock. So, thank you.
Karen?
A couple of things. The budget, you had a budget meeting, your last budget meeting, and I'm assuming that you passed the budget.
Yes,
and,
yes, yes.
That's the proposal.
Passed the
proposed budget.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
I was saying that.
Yes.
I'm curious about the library. The library board was asking about expanding, and I'm curious whether you thought that was...
We adopted the budget that they requested, which
Oh,
included
wonderful.
expanded hours, which allows them to seek certain grants that are only available
Okay,
with expanded hours.
great.
So actually it's, there's some increased costs, but there's also increased anticipated revenue.
Okay.
And just moreover, kind of more library time, which everybody felt.
They
Good
have
about.
many visitors down there,
Yes.
and it's very important to the town.
Yeah.
And Madeline is doing an excellent job, and Ruby is in there, and she
Yes.
does an excellent job also.
All the little pre-kids go at once a week and they have reading. You see them walking up to the library and they love it there.
That is good. With town meeting coming up, we'll be having a candidates night, like we normally do, a couple of days beforehand. So I will find out more about that.
Yeah, and you'll put it on Facebook?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll put it on the website.
Oh, please, thank you. Yeah.
We had, let's see, every Wednesday is Jamaica Run and Walk Club at 5:30, meeting right across the street here on Main Street. Tomorrow, River and Rye has Tom Davidson playing in at the restaurant. Saturday at the library, they've got story zine style, or zine, I'm not sure. Make your own zine, make your own zine, I don't know.
It's zine?
Yeah, like magazine.
Make your own magazine.
Oh, magazine.
Oh,
Zine is
okay.
right.
Make your own personal
Magazine.
magazine is what they're doing.
Oh.
So I should have looked it up and asked questions before. Sunday is yoga. We have yoga every Sunday in the town hall at 9 o'clock. The library also has blind date with a book on Sunday at 6 o'clock. Sam Chapin on
Saturday, right? Yeah.
is at River and Rye, and don't forget bingo every Friday night at the Masonic Hall. And we have Wednesday night socials every Wednesday at the Jamaica House. So, and group fitness on Mondays at 5:30.
That's telling.
So we've got lots of stuff happening, and it's all wonderful.
And all of those things are on the Jamaica town website on calendar. So if you didn't get that from Karen or you're not looking at the notes, just go
Or
to the Jamaica
Facebook.
website and everything is up to date.
It's on the Facebook page, it's on Jamaica Community Arts Council. We have a
Right.
wonderful group
It's all
on
up.
Jamaica
Yes, the
Community
Arts Council is, yeah.
They are just fantastic. And Jamaica Historical Foundation, we're working on Jamaica Day. If anyone would like to participate, please, by all means. It's hard to think about an August day when we're freezing here like this. But it's all
It
good.
will come.
Yes, lots of things happening, so. it's
Thank
great.
you, thank you. Any other? Yes, Paul.
I have a question and maybe a suggestion. I understand the emergency management people opened a warming shelter
Yes.
for us this weekend.
Yes.
Not clear where it was.
Masonic.
The Masonic Law Hall.
It was not in anything we said the Masonic Hall. It gave 3585 or whatever the number was.
Yeah.
Oh.
It didn't identify the building. I
Really?
think there are more people who recognize the Masonic Hall than they do
Right.
3585.
I thought it said the address and Masonic Hall.
I never
but-
saw the Masonic Hall. I assumed that's what it was, but I did not know the street address. I assumed it only because,
Oh, okay. Good point. Thank you.
I assumed it because that's
I'll
what
let
we used
Greg know.
to
It
use.
didn't say that? I'll let Greg know.
Yeah,
Okay.
I assumed it because that's what we used to use.
Yeah.
That was a good idea, by the way,
Yeah,
because it was vicious.
yeah, it was.
Our pipes froze.
We may.
Yes, poor
Is that?
pipes froze.
Yeah, we didn't have any cold water for, yeah, whatever.
Whatever. Or you only had.
Yeah, no, we didn't have cold water.
No, no.
Anyway.
Just.
Okay.
a little-
No, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Thank you. All right. Oh, yes.
On that topic, I'm sorry, on that topic, historically, when I'm running these through my brain, understand that I'm over here and I'm out of touch with everybody. At one time, there was a period of time where, for really, really cold, bad weather, we would open this room up as a warming shelter during business hours, so they could
Right.
plug their phones in and get them charged. I don't know if that's part of a part
Yeah,
of.
so there's 3 spots that are available for warming. The fire department,
Yeah.
this building, and the Masonic Lodge. So a meeting of EMDs was, whatever, the group was held, and we kind of looked at all 3. And because for Friday night, it was an extension of bingo, so that made sense. And because that's where we were, having it the next day made sense. But it really depends on the circumstance. This building could have made sense.
I'm just thinking in terms of.
None of them have sleeping. We have no sleeping shelter, as you know.
Exactly.
Right, none of them are sleeping, so. And our the fire department would probably be the last, only because you want to keep it free in case there's a coincidental emergency. Karen, did you think of something else?
The signage that went up, it says Jamaica Emergency Warming Center will be open. Location Masonic Hall, 3580 Vermont
Where
Road.
is this located?
This was the poster that they put up.
Yeah,
Where was that?
both
They posted
posted
all over the
here
place.
and online.
I thought
It didn't come
I thought
through
so.
on the VT alerts, though, it did not.
Oh, is that?
VT alert, which is
Yeah.
where I'm
Yeah.
at.
Okay, okay.
I was just thinking.
Because I was like, I thought I saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Karen.
But
So
it was-
that's a good thing to know, that on VT alert, maybe,
Because VT alert's what I'm getting
right.
still. The other thing was about using this place during the daytime. You guys are closed on Fridays, but other times it was an easy thing because people are already here. They can plug in their
Right.
phones and go out.
Right.
And doesn't require the effort to open up a shelter.
Right.
and it doesn't interfere with the fire department.
Right, but because this was weekend.
Exactly, I'm just
Yeah.
thinking as this
Yeah.
is going on.
And we ended up not opening, the office on Monday because of the-
Emergencies always happen on the
Gotcha,
weekend,
gotcha.
right?
I was here on Monday.
Did you end up coming in?
I was here all day Monday. Yeah, I was here, yeah.
Good for my job.
Oh, that's right, you told me, nobody came, right,
Nobody,
It was the transfer
One
station
guy
we
come in
closed.
at 4 o'clock
Right,
and had
right,
his sticker.
right,
I'm like, oh.
right,
I was
right.
gonna-
I was here then too.
You were, Karen was here as well, thank you, Karen, yes, the office was open regularly.
Okay.
I have no excuse.
Motion to adjourn?
Second, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Who seconded, Jessica?
I did, yes. With